Today we're going to go through a few terminology in the waves unit. So first we're going to start with wavefront and ray. So assuming you know the definition of all these, I'm going to explain to you how you can think of these without just merely memorizing verbatim its definition. So let's just say we got a water drop here, and it's dropping down, right? And then you create these waves that kind of look like these. So then these are the wavefronts, okay? Wavefronts indicate all the points that a wave reaches at a specific moment. So it's kind of just like these circles here. It's just like that. Now the ray indicates the direction of the wavefront. So we've drawn a wavefront, it looks like that. But if you want to indicate the direction of these waves, well, it's now going in, so we're going to draw it out. So these are the rays. The rays will indicate the direction of the wave fronts. So we see that it's going out and not inwards. So that's the usefulness of rays. Now when you're given other things like diagrams that ask you to label or what have you, you're going to have a barrier. Let's just say we have an inclined plane first. We're going to have an inclined plane, and then we're going to say a ray hits it like this. Okay, so then we're going to figure this out. So let's start with the terminology, barrier. Okay, so the barrier is going to be just something that you can use as a reference point for your rays. Okay, so we're gonna say it's gonna be this line. This is a barrier because that's where the ray is hitting. So be our barrier. The point of a barrier is to help us figure out other stuff like the normal line. The normal line is always perpendicular to the barrier. Normal line. Perpendicular to barrier. Okay, so this is an imaginary line, normal line. The point of a normal line is to figure out the angle of incidence and the angle of reflection. Now we got our ray there. We have our ray. Now if we're asked the angle of incidence, we know the angle of incidence is equal to the angle of reflection, and the definition for this angle is this is the angle that you measure in respect with a normal line. It's the angle to a normal line. So it's here. It is not here unless they ask you the angle to a horizontal. So it's not here. The angle of incidence, it's measured from the normal line, which is an imaginary line perpendicular to the barrier. And then this will be our reflected angle, which is going to be the same as our incident angle. Okay. Okay. So one other thing that I want to point out is we see we have our wavefront and waves on the left side. Rays are always perpendicular to the wavefront. Okay, so that means if you have something, if you got, let's use blue here, if you got waves like this, like in a diagram, and then you got other strange waves that look like this, and you're asked to draw the ray, this is a good way to test your knowledge to see if you actually understand the concept of wave and rays. So these are waves, kind of like these circles here, right? We got the waves. Now the rays are perpendicular to the wave fronts. So if we got waves like this, wave fronts like this, perpendicular is going to be straight across. Just like you've got this, and it's going to be straight across, right? So our ray is going to go like this. That will be a ray, it's going to be perpendicular to this wavefront. And if we were to draw another ray perpendicular to the red wavefronts here, it's going to look like this. Okay. So there you have it.